Greetings and a very warm welcome to the channel. The rain is pouring, in fact the weather is awful-ing, and the magpie is casting. Coming at you right now with a live 1 vs 1 replay fresh from the ladder, featuring Spawning in the North playing as the Vermact pieces. It is going to be Leiarde, who I believe is a newcomer to the channel, so a very warm welcome to you, good sir. Good luck, have fun in this game where your opponent will be playing as the Soviet pieces. Probably a much more famous player, and definitely one who's featured on the channel before, is going to be ShadowWada. ShadowWada, of course, a veteran of the game and big-time streamer. If you've not had the pleasure, definitely head on over to his Twitch and check it out. I don't actually know what his Twitch channel ID is, but I'm sure that with the fantastic high-tech tools at your fingertips right now, you could probably find out. I recommend Google. So yeah, these two players going to be showing down here for our amusement, entertainment, and enjoyment. The map is going to be this is Minsk Pocket. Yes, Minsk Pocket. And as they do sort of move on out to get better acquainted with each other on the field of battle, I will just take a moment right here to explain or talk about where I've been for the last couple of weeks. And so yeah, I'll tell you what, let's just start there then. So I don't do New Year's resolutions because I think they're stupid. I think if your motivation for like making a significant change to your life is because a number changed on the calendar, I don't think that you're going to stick to that change. I don't think that gives you enough incentive. You're not committed to that change. I think it's stupid. People are always like, oh, did you make any New Year's resolutions? And I'm just like, no. However, at the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, a couple of cool things happened, and I did have a couple of realizations. Am I going to use the word epiphany? Maybe. I'm going to mention the word epiphany, so there we go. And just, I don't know, some cool things happened, and it is absolutely not because it was a new year, but I dare say that probably catalyzed a lot of it. So, anyway, and I basically had this massive realization that what I should do at any given time is whatever I have the passion for. Here's my analogy, okay? If you have food in the freezer and you also have fresh food in your cupboards, you should really eat the fresh food in your cupboards because the freezer food you can eat any time, and if you don't eat the fresh food in the cupboards, then it will go off and then you won't get to enjoy it. Well, it's like that with things that you're passionate about. So there are a lot of things I'm passionate about in life. So I've learned that when I'm feeling really passionate about something, I should just go and do that because, you know, that's like the fresh food, and I don't want my passion to like go off or not get used. So I don't know, yeah, I kind of had an epiphany, and I was just like, you know what, I should really follow my heart a little bit more. And at the same time, my drum teacher gave me a pretty hard assignment, which I'll be honest, like floored me for a good few days, like of solid drumming. And that was really awesome. I actually really enjoyed it, and I've been playing like a ton more drums since then. Also, the fantastic government, the nation of Britain, the nation of the United Kingdom, has called upon me for my services. Now, I'm legally not at liberty to tell you anything about it, except that for the next 9 weeks, I think, I am going to be lending my services to our great nation, and for a good, I don't know, like between 4 and 10 hours a day, I would have thought. So, like, it's a pretty heavy commitment. So that's eating up a lot of my time. It's another reason why the casting hasn't been so forthcoming as usual. And so anyway, yeah, and that commitment, as I say, is going to last for at least 9 or 10 more weeks. So sorry about that. However, I am back. The magpie is now back in the roost. I am casting once again, as you can tell. And I very much do look forward to casting a lot more in the weeks to come. Casting is still one of my passions. I still love it to bits. I still have a fantastic time casting. I would very much like to do some new things, because covering Company of Heroes 2 is all good and well, but I'm getting kind of sick of waiting for the Winter Balance patch to actually become the new balance patch. I just want that to arrive now, and I'm kind of bored of the state of the game as it is. That's not to say that I won't keep casting it and having fun with it, but until like that actually happens, it is harder for me to want to cast this game. Deserts of Karak is still fantastic and just a brilliant RTS, and I do love it. So, you know, I'll definitely still be casting that too. But I would like to do something else, something new. I don't know, I might talk to some friends, see if I can get some more collaborative stuff going on, because solo casting is all good and well, but it's much more fun when you're working with others, you know? Definitely playing with others, always more fun than playing by yourself. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of like in a nutshell what has been like where I've been for the last 4 weeks of not really casting. I think it's like 4 weeks. It's been quite a long time, and for which I do apologise. But you know, c'est la vie, and you know, I don't know, like I'm not going to apologise for it. Well, I guess I just did, but I'm not going to feel bad about it because my time was well spent. Let's put it that way. So anyway, I think I think that sort of wraps up everything and brings us more or less up to date. Happy New Year to you all, by the way. Happy 2017. Hope you're all rocking and rolling and loving life. Now, I did cast a few games, and I tried to upload them earlier, but there were some like audio issues where my voice was not in there. So I've reviewed the setup, I've done like a test cast, and I'm hoping that now you can actually hear my voice. If you can't, I'm going to be super annoyed, but I'm hoping that you can. There would have been more casts had I actually like been more competent and like sorted these bugs out before I started casting. But anyway, so what can I tell you about the state of the game right now? Well, honestly, I haven't been focusing too hard, so let's try and pick it up. Looks like the map at the moment predominantly red. Looks like Axis making a good poke at the Soviet fuel point here, but unable to make it stick, really. You can see ShadowWada here regaining that whilst pushing on the flanks. Actually, this is an Axis unit here. This is Pioneers that are pushing. And now, the players that I casted earlier in the games which I sadly couldn't upload due to those audio issues, one featured Captain S. Price, who I haven't seen for so long, and I've got to say, I am thrilled that he's back in the game, if that's a thing that's happening. I haven't even seen him just practicing in the live game lobbies for, like, a really long time. So to see him practicing in the live game lobby there, that was really good fun. The man was clearly on point. I watched him play as US, and he did something a little bit unusual, a little bit spricey, a little bit left field. Not super spricey, though. Not, like, as spricey as I often expect from him. But it was still cool to watch, and he was still, like, you know, an absolute monster, and he took that game in, like, less than 13 minutes, so it was fantastic. Fantastic to watch. Then I cast a game by ShadowWada, indeed probably the previous game he played, on the ladder, and he played Soviets. He went for guard motor coordination tactics, and I've got to say his build was like not particularly meta, if you like. It was like really standard, and that's cool. He just played a fantastic standard game. Absolutely, really, he was a well-oiled Soviet machine, and you know, his opponent was very determined. I would say up until about the 10 or 12 minute mark it had been almost one-sided. You know, the Axis player really was off to a fantastic start, but ShadowWada, determined, gritty player who has definitely come back from many far worse situations throughout his Company of Heroes 2 career, able to weather the storm and come back for a lovely win in that last game that I cast. So he's clearly had a good warm-up versus Axis. Let's see how he's going to take on the forces of Leiarde here. Seemingly so far so good. You can see mines. You can see he's putting down mines in interesting positions around the map. Yeah, here are some here. We've just seen some grenadiers catch on to some here. So looks like ShadowWada, not shy when it comes to putting down mines, especially at an early juncture, and especially because I guess he scouted the Flammenwerfer on the... Nope, there is no Flammenwerfer on the Pioneers. I'm sorry, I'm just getting confused. But certainly in the last game, his opponent did go for a Flammenwerfer on his Pioneers and never got a second Pioneer squad, and by God did ShadowWada make him pay for it with mines and demo charges. It was pretty cool. So anyway, though, it looks like WADA off to a really good start in this game. Leiarde and WADA. I might just call him Shadow. I don't know. But anyway, Leiarde, that's a quad Grenadier opening. No MG42s. Double Pioneer GR34. Interesting. Wow, getting a squad wipe here as WADA. Damn. Good old Shadow here, chalking up a squad of Grenadiers. Very nicely done there. And so far this game definitely looking almost a little one-sided for WADA. I haven't really seen the Axis player, except for making one poke at this fuel point, I haven't really seen the Axis player do anything that would be of too great of a cause for concern here for ShadowWada. So we'll have to see how this game's going to progress. Neither player has chosen a commander yet, so there's still room for all of that. And a brutal squad wipe as a retreating squad of Pioneers here. The retreat line takes them over the mines, and ShadowWada's got to be feeling pretty good about that, you have to imagine. This game just... this is like an Axis player's nightmare now. I mean, he's down to 5 squads against an opponent who has 2 Maxims. Yeesh. Looks like a Tank of Battalion command going to be coming up here, and I imagine, all other things being equal, we're probably going to see a guard motor coordination pick coming up here, probably for WADA, based on what I've seen from him today. This looks like the same build that he was pulling previously. With the map that I've cast him on the last game was on Kolodny Farm, and he made his MVP units for me the entire game were the Soviet mortars, the PM-81, and by God they were effective. Like, they were just so brutal, it was unreal. So I'd like to see him spice in a couple. Of course, this map is not Kolodny Farm, and the mortars are not as good on this map as they are on Kolodny Farm. Still useful though, so we'll have to see. I am surprised to see that the Axis player has not built a single MG this game, and the reason I say that is because Minsk Pocket, right, the middle lane of this map, so pretty much everywhere from here through all the way down here, all the way to about here, this whole region is often predominantly dominated by MG teams, because, well, you'll find that the arc of an MG42 almost covers this entire width here, and, you know, it's very effective for controlling these very valuable points, not to mention the central VP. So, yeah, I'm kind of amazed, and here comes a half-track. Now, I don't know if that's going to be for the Flammenwerfers. It doesn't look like it, because he has nowhere near enough muni. So, this half-track, for all intents and purposes, is actually going to be used in a reinforcing role. And that's tough if you're Leiarde. And the reason that's tough if you're Leiarde is because ShadowWada already has his first T-70. And there is nothing up here in the top left that will stop this T-70 from killing that half-track, other than some absolutely blistering Faust micro and a hastily retreating half-track. So this is a tough spot to be in if you're Leiarde. It's made even tougher by the fact that there's another T-70 coming, which is like, yeesh, you know, yeesh. Also, look, there's more mines here, like, oh god. Now the T-70 finds the half-track, starts scoping it up. Oh, I'm going to start using the autocannon, taking as many shots as I can. Bear in mind, this is like a veterancy gold mine as well for the T-70. It will hit this half-track all day, and it will really, really, really enjoy it. This half-track as well, trying to spin on the spot. He doesn't know if he's coming or going, doesn't know if he's going forward or backwards. Mate, you have to get this half-track out of here. Can't just dilly-dally around. You've got to get a Faust onto this T-70 or else it doesn't even... Okay, so that's going to be a dead half-track. I mean, I know those guys were pinned, but I feel like that was just not a very good response to a T-70 there from Leiarde. And he is having a rough time in this game. He might lose the GR34 here. No sign of the fallback coming down on that unit. Okay, there's the fallback. This is way too late. That should be a squad wipe. I can't believe he gets away with that GR34. He had no right to get away with that. But now there's double T-70 out with nothing to do about it. GG, tasteless. And then that is it. That is it. Wow. Oh my god, ShadowWada here, just taking a dominating game. That is just pokey. My god, Wada. Well, safe to say he was definitely pokier in this game than in the last one I cast from him. I mean, not that he was bad in that last game, but damn, I mean, this was a curb stomping. Well, not much to say about this one, to be honest, was there? Leiarde using a bit of a retro opener. I mean, when was the last time you really saw someone go like quad grenadier, double Pio mortar? Feels like it's been like a good 8 months or something since that's been a build. Like, I don't know. I could be totally wrong about that, but I mean, since they moved the MG42 to the HQ, I thought quad grenadier was a thing of the past. But anyway, maybe not. Yeah, that was just a rough game from Leiarde's point of view. Probably not. I mean, sometimes, right, you can be the best player in the world. You can be ShadowWada. You can just get behind in the early game and then you get spanked. Like, that's it. And then you're just down and out for the rest of the game because you were behind. You know, it's that snowballing effect, you know. Because you're behind, it's harder to do good things. And because it's harder to do good things, you get further behind. And then you're further behind, so it's even harder to do good things. And then it's so hard to do good things that you basically lose the game. And that can often happen in an RTS. So I don't want to write Leiarde off here. I don't want to say on the basis of one poor game that, you know, he's like a bad player or he should, you know, LTP or anything. You know, I'm not the kind of person who'd say that. But this definitely, you know, I think he'd be the first person to admit not the best game. For ShadowWada, I mean, the game was so short, it's very hard to critique anything. For certain, he saw that there was blood in the water and he closed that game out. I think a lot of Soviet players probably would have let this drag on to maybe the 20-30 minute mark. You know, I mean, it could have gone on away. The Axis player could even have found a way back in, but ShadowWada here, the killer instinct was good. As soon as he saw that he had the upper hand, as soon as he saw that he had a couple of squad wipes, as soon as he saw or heard maybe that there was a half track coming, you know, the T-70, the first T-70 was just already out, and he queued the second one up like so fast. I think he had to realize that he was just like quite far ahead. 2 T-70s represents quite the Hadouken punch to the chin of your opponent in this circumstance, and yeah, that's what's gone down here, isn't it? Actually, you know, I have to correct myself. Everybody knows the Hadouken is not a punch; it's the Shoryuken that's a punch. But anyway, so yeah, that is that. Yeah, as I say, just quickly to recap, I suppose, on my way out here. Yeah, I've been real busy the last 4 weeks. A lot of things kicking in, a lot of life reevaluation, a lot of playing the drums, a lot of national service. Like, not it's. I should point out the one thing I am allowed to tell you, although I can't tell you anything about this national service, is that it's not military national service. So I am unlikely to die. Although I could still manage it. We'll see. So yeah, I guess that concludes this video, I think. Do stay tuned, of course, to the channel. Going to be more videos in the coming weeks. More Company of Heroes 2, more Homeworld Deserts of Karak, and I don't know, hopefully something new. I'm going to, like, you know, talk to some people, see if we can come up with something funky. I don't know what that might be, but definitely something collaborative, because it's nice to play with others. And, that concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching, and this for now is Magpie42 signing out.